we're very quality driven. So my main mission here is to make sure that I attend those needs by fulfilling their needs with the orders that they place in our company, right?
Yeah.
So my role, in a way, is to work with the sales departments, to work with our customer service teams, right, in aligning all the planning, all the demands, and I ensure the supply, right? I'm making sure that the product is sourced, the ingredients are, brought in on time, and with our flexible manufacturing, then we're able to make the production that our customer requires, right? So that's what I do here. We
Amazing.
served domestic customers in the United States. We serve our Canadian customers as well, along
Yeah.
with about 13 other countries throughout the world. Okay?
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah. So, in a broader picture, Marco, can you please provide us with a brief overview of Ajinomoto Cambrooke and its mission in the field of therapeutic medical nutrition?
Yeah, so Ajinomoto, basically, we are in the business of attending, rare inherited disorders. For example, the PKU is one of those, right? We also have service patients that have issues with, for example, epilepsy. That's another example. So we serve those needs, right? So the company has been around, it's a family-owned company. You will have the opportunity to meet David and Lynn, but
Mm.
the story started with their kids, right? Cambrooke, where they both had this rare illness called phenylketonuria, right? Otherwise known as PKU, right? And one of the challenges that they had as a family was to feed their kids, right?
Yeah.
So at the time when the kids were you know just children, there weren't really too many choices to feed their kids because this illness PKU, as I mentioned, is a rare inherited disorder, right? That causes amino acids called the phenylalanine to build up in the body, right? And if you don't have the right nutrition, it basically what it does is going to create toxins in your brain, right? And you
Mm.
can degenerate and not feed, and eventually, have, um, retardation and that sort of things, right? So, so they created the company. They built, recipes, they built products, and that's how the company started. Making food for their kids, and then they expanded, and the company started to sell more what we call it low protein foods, right? And
Mm.
eventually in 2017, the company was bought by Ajinomoto, right?
Yeah.
So Ajinomoto is a Japanese-based company. I believe the turnover is over $3 billion in sales, and it has close to 35,000 people around the world. And we are very fortunate, right, to be part of the Ajinomoto family. Having worked in the company for several years, I used to work for Nestle for many, many years, right?
Yeah.
But Ajinomoto is a very, very focused company in nutrition, in making sure that the customers, the patients, receive all the service, all attention, and
Mm.
from the scientific perspective, they have, my goodness, over 2,000 PhDs, working on research and development, and we
Mm.
have full access to those services, right? the innovation, the technology. They're the leaders in amino acid and biotechnology, for amino acid synthesis. Um, and we are very fortunate, we do business with them, and we served Ajinomoto worldwide as well.
Yeah. Understand. So Ajinomoto Cambrooke, as you guys mentioned, are a leader and a global innovator in the field of advanced medical nutrition. So
Correct.
I'm very curious, and I'm sure the readers are also very curious to learn how does Ajinomoto Cambrooke prioritize the patient needs and ensure that its products and services are tailored to the individual requirements.
Yeah, so I would say is, first of all, we do have a very strong clinical services group here. They work very, very closely with, patients. They identify their communities, their needs, and
Yeah.
that's one aspect that makes our company very, very unique, right? Is that we're very, very patient-centric.
Mhm.
We treat every patient as an individual, right? And our clinical teams, they have a, you know, I would say very, very close relationships with each of the patients, right? So they work with them, they attend, their needs, they talk about, what the issues are. And especially, in my area, when it comes down to service, if there's any issues that come up as far as, eh, you know, um, creating orders that will, fulfill their immediate needs, we will make sure that, we jump over our daily schedules. We do whatever we need to do to attend those patient needs, right? Even though,
Yeah.
we run the company as a well-oiled machine, we plan, we do a lot of these things. Whenever a patient needs something, we attend those needs, right? And if that means, for example, cut into production and do something special for them to make sure that we tailor their needs, we will do that. If, for example, if our business requires that these patients receive product on Saturday and we're not producing on Saturday, guess what? We'll do that. So
Mm.
we have a very strong focus on serving our patients.
Understand. So you place patients at the very central at the central heart of every decisions that you make at the company. So this kind of links to my next question, Marco. I noticed that Ajinomoto Cambrooke, you guys have a lot of products line from like low protein, ENU protein, nutrition, keto V, etc., etc. So, from your point of view, how these kind of different products adds to the whole story of placing patients at the very central of the products line that you guys are developing at the moment.
Yeah, so I would say, look, you know, yeah, you're right. We have products for, inborn errors of protein metabolism. For example, that's one group of products we do make. We have also, the ketogenic diets for epilepsy seizures. We also have a group of products that is called the severe protein allergy group.
Mm,
And of course, we have some disease-related malnutrition products that we produce, in other markets in the UK under the brand of Nualtra. Um,
yeah.
but so what I would say is, look, I mean, when you think about, the what we do here, really, our product range is very deep in terms of we're not selling to the mass markets, right? We're very
Mm,
focused on a specific, disease areas, right? And as we launch new products, as we work on developing, new areas of needs, right? Um, our focus continues to be ensuring, right, that always, 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 the safety and the quality of our products is number one. That is not a question for us, right? Um,
yeah.
we want to make sure that our patients do receive the best possible care that we can provide them. with not just the products, but with our service as well. You know, when you come into our operations here, everyone understands, and we talk about it every day, you know, the impact that we're making to society. And I think many of our employees are very close to they have this very close to their hearts. That first and foremost is always ensuring that we help society, right? So
Understand. So you just mentioned about, quality and safety as the keywords that are guiding, the decisions that you make at the company, especially in the manufacturing process at the company. So Marco, from your experience, intensive experience of supply chain management, etc., how does this kind of experience translate into your current role at Ajinomoto Cambrooke?
right. So so look, I would say it's in a couple of ways, right? So I think the first thing and foremost before anything else, right, is, as I said earlier, is to ensure that we are very focused on quality and safety. That's the most important thing, right? Um, Now, you know, being very focused and centric in our patients, you know, what also requires us to do is require us to be very flexible. You
Yep.
know, so that's one of the important things for us is to be able to be responsive to our patients' needs, right? So how we set up the manufacturing environment here is important. You know, how we um, you know, create production plans is important. You know, how we set up the teams is important, right? Because all these things in unison helps us become very, very flexible, right? And remember here, flexibility, Don, flexibility is key here, right? Is
Yep.
we're not making millions of products for everybody in the world, right? We're making this for specific populations, right? So so it's very, very, very important, you know, that our mission, right, which is ensuring that, you know, we provide, superior solutions, you know, for these communities that are, I would say, in need of our products is superior. That's our mission.
Understand. So now let's dive deeper into the production process that Marco you just mentioned about. So can you please clarify a bit about the key stages in the production process for Cambrooke's nutritional products that you mentioned?
Yeah, so I would say, look, the first step really starts with our, identifying, our demands, right? That's where the
Right.
whole process starts. You know, we want to make sure that it's clear for the production process, you know, what the demand is for our products. So there's a lot of communication between sales, marketing, the operations teams to discuss, you know, what are the upcoming trends, what are the upcoming events, what is the upcoming demand, right? So
Yeah.
that's fundamental to our process, right? I would say another key aspect of this process is to ensure that, you know, when we identify what the needs are, the future needs are, that we properly source, materials, right?
Yeah.
And that we have, enough capacity and that we have enough resources to be able to meet those demands, right?
Right.
All our products, all our ingredients, then they go through a very strict quality assessment, where we
Mm.
assure basically that, you know, as we spec them, as we use them, as we release them, as we approve them, they all have inspection checks in the process that ultimately ensures that the product is of good quality, right? Um,
Yeah.
So once we have, the material source and we have all the, the resources needed to produce, right? The next step really is about manufacturing, right?
Right.
So in our business, we have multiple types of products. I would say, Dan, we have, for example, liquid products,
Mm.
right? In the product range, if you will, that would be, a lot of the metabolic, the keto products, they have a liquid aspect of it.
Yeah.
We also have products in the areas of powders, for example. As I mentioned earlier, in the powder business, we have, products that are, I would say, eh, eh, for the severe protein allergy areas, right? So we do a lot of powders.
Mm.
Um, so, so what is important here is to ensure, right, that the technology, the equipment maintenance, for example, making sure that the employees are fully aware of all the quality practices, safety practices. We continuously to invest in their training, quite a bit. And most importantly, right, that they own the manufacturing process. So when an order comes to them, they know perfectly how to execute the order, right?
Right.
Because their hearts and souls are, um, um, into our mission, right? So our employees, they're
Mm.
not just making product, but they know they're making product for special populations, right? Um,
Yeah.
so once we make the product, we basically distribute the product to our order fulfillment center, where they would take the orders that come from our customers and patients, and they fulfill every order individually, one by one. And then we ship this to,
Mm.
again, we ship it within the US, we ship it to, in the US, we ship it just about to every state in the country. We ship it to Canada, we ship it to other countries around the world from here.
Understand. So I'm very curious to learn more about, the innovations that you, Marco, as a director of production, are implementing to enhance the production efficiency and productivity at the company. So can you please share with us an example and initiatives that you have implemented new technologies into enhancing the production efficiency for the company?
Yeah, these are really good questions. I appreciate thank you for asking these questions. Very good. Yeah, so what I would say is, look, one of the key initiatives that we have is, ensuring that our working capitals are optimal, right? That's important,
Right.
right? And how you do that is, one example of this would be having, a visibility to our inventories, understanding, where the inventories sit in different parts of our network, and making sure that
Right.
we understand that the levels of inventory that we have are sufficient to maintain the business needs and the demand, right? So
Mm.
in that area, what we have been doing, and we have invested quite a bit of, money and time, is through the implementation of what we call it internally a warehouse management system, right? So a warehouse management system will give us all the above what I just mentioned to you. It's going to give us the opportunity to understand our working capital, to understand our inventory levels, to make sure that, we have the right inventory at the right time where we need it. Okay.
Right.
So we're
Yeah.
very excited about this development. That's one example. Another example is, we have review our manufacturing footprint, say for our liquid drinking drinks, right? And, we are invested quite a bit of money. We are bringing a state-of-the-art filling line, filling processing and packaging line. Um, and what this process is going to do for us is basically going to automate many of the manual functions that we execute today in our company. So, for example, a machine will be able to, when there is an issue with the machine, for example, the machine will automatically alert us that there is a problem with, a component in the equipment, right? Well, that's very helpful to us because we would be able to understand before anything happens, what the problem is. And instead of, for example, having a machine down for an hour to troubleshoot, now we will be able to go directly into where the problem is and troubleshoot in a lot shorter time. That's an example. The other thing too that we're doing is, we're also being very innovative, in the sense that, we're adding screw tops to our products, right? So it's easier to drink by our patients, right? Today we don't have that device. It's all pull tops. So our product will, can you see me? I'm sorry.
No, actually, yeah, I thought you were off camera for the whole time.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so
I can see you
sorry.
now.
I think I must have moved my
Ah,
little what you call it, camera cover. I apologize. I was just
okay.
looking at this and it's like, where are you? So my apologies.
Yeah,
My apologies. That was not my intention. Yeah.
yeah, no worries. It's okay.
So we're investing in equipment that is going to help us understand more, how the equipment performs.
Yeah,
And with that, of course, is efficiency. We have more efficient equipment, right? Allows us to add, for example, other features to our products. So adding, for example, a screw cap. So when the
mm,
patients are drinking, they can open and close the product as they need, right? So that makes the experience a lot richer, right? Um, Also, important things that we're doing here is, we're really transforming, the way that we use data, right? So we are converting a lot of our systems that we had that aren't really in communication with each other. We bring them together so they can communicate with each other, right? So that allows us, for example, to collect more data, right?
yeah,
Collect data about the processes, collect about data about our quality standards, collect data about our cost, for example, right? The time that it takes to do things. So that way we can evaluate, from end to end where the opportunities are for us to improve our processes, our cost, the speed at which we, process our orders. So, so what I would say, that we're really investing heavily in, with the support of Ajinomoto, Japan, we're investing quite a bit in this organization to modernize it and make it more dynamic, make it more efficient. Uh, and one thing is unique about our business as well to mention is the fact that, as I mentioned, we're not in the mass market, right? Our patients are not the
right,
world. So we're very focused on a specific area, specific populations. So it's super important for us to be very flexible. That I can't um, mention enough, right? Flexibility for us with the right quality, the right cost is very, very important, right? So we still have to be very efficient on how we do things. We have to be very competitive with our quality, right? But it's equally
right,
important, right, that we maintained a focus on efficiency.
right. A focus on efficiency, flexibility, as well as stressing on the unique selling points that the product is bringing to the targeted customer that the company is focusing at the moment. But at the end of the day, look, Marco, we'd love to understand a bit more into how the products meet the highest standards of purity, potency, and consistency. I understand that you touched on this point earlier, but from an end customer perspective, could you please elaborate a bit more on this point?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, so the first thing is, the way we have our quality system set up here, we are an ISO 9001 certified operation. So, so every process that we have in the company is documented, right?
Mm,
So one way or of ensuring quality, ensuring our patients, right, that they're receiving product that meets their needs, right, is to ensure that our product are consistently manufactured in the way that they were designed to perform, right? That's critical. Um, so following procedures is important, right? Having, for example, we during a typical production run plan, we will collect many data points, not just about the
mm,
process, but also about the product. So the data is monitoring the quality of the product throughout the production process, right? So we would look into, for example, things like pH is an important, right? Is
mm,
viscosity is important. The quality team also has important checks that they do based on, for example, a weight of the product. The labels need to be, verified and checked. Always ensuring that the customer gets what the product was designed to do, right? So, we work very, very, very closely with our quality and R&D teams, right? So, and there's a constant focus on not just improving the recipes in terms of maybe taste. We will receive consumer feedback, for example, or patients will give us feedback as far as, how they feel about certain product criteria, maybe the taste or things like this. And we make that our business priority, right? So working with these other areas, quality and product development, we will do a lot of testing on the lines. We will do a lot of, product prototyping until, our patients feel that this product is meeting their needs, right? Um, so in summary, what I would say is, look, first of all, having formal processes and procedures that have been
mm,
validated to ensure that the performance of the product, the repetition of the execution is consistent, is one of the key areas that we focus on, right? And the second
yeah.
piece is by monitoring constantly, different areas of the process, ensuring that the quality standards are met throughout the process, and do this every day, every minute, every batch continuously
Mm,
is is an important aspect of how we guaranteed quality, uh, to our patients. And the other piece is the renovation and innovation power, right? Is working with our patients, working with our internal teams here, marketing, clinical services, quality, in looking at all these opportunities that we have to improve our product, and doing lots of trials, doing a lot of work to test, to change, to test until things become acceptable.
yes, amazing. Yeah, that really sums up the whole spirit of this interview, Marco. I'm very amazed and also, like eye-opening to listen to your story as well. I'm pretty sure that you and the team has put in a lot of effort and are making sure that you guys stay as updated to the consumer trends as possible. And I'm very, very glad to see the new upcoming initiatives that the company is rolling out for the upcoming period. So yes, best of luck with all the initiatives that you are doing. I'll definitely be on the lookout for that. Yeah, and in the meantime, thank you so much for taking the time to join the interview today. It's very efficient, I have to say. Yes, very glad to have the time to discuss with you today. Yeah.
Thank you, Thang. I appreciate you taking the time, and I appreciate the questions you asked me. They were very, very deep questions. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Take care, Thang.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
take care. Bye
Have a
bye.
great day. Bye-bye.